Elon Musk's warnings about California are aging like prophecy. He said the city was rotting from the inside by immoral inner politics towards its citizens, and now with the new lawsuit of Trump towards California, we're watching it unfold in real time. But this time, the story is even worse. The latest Trump lawsuit doesn't just confirm California's defiance of federal law, it exposes a pattern of deliberate obstruction. Los Angeles isn't just ignoring immigration enforcement, it's actively building legal walls to protect lawbreakers while federal agents are blocked, sidelined, and even undermined. And this lawsuit is already having several consequences for the state. Behind the scenes, California created entire systems designed to reject ICE cooperation, sabotage detainment efforts, and reward officials who stay silent. These are some of the mind-boggling revelations. So let's explain everything. So Trump has exposed California's government for being very unfair towards California citizens, especially in LA. Well, California is facing a legal battle with the most powerful man in the world, with the US president and cities like LA staring down one of the biggest battles they've faced in years, and the accusations are serious. That's why the Trump administration is hitting California with a massive lawsuit. Trump is saying that California is openly breaking federal law through its sanctuary city policies. And this lawsuit is necessary to restore a fair attitude towards U.S. citizens, something the California government has been depriving them of. The legal complaint from Trump's administration was filed in the Central District of California, and Trump said it clearly that he will not allow Governor Newsom to continue this behavior. According to Trump, the government of California is insane, especially how it treats its citizens, and tells city officials and law enforcement to ignore federal immigration enforcement. The problem is that Newsom has a law that blocks anyone from sharing immigration status. More importantly, completely weakens city police and law enforcement by banning the use of any city resources to help federal agents. According to the federal government, LA's sanctuary policies are actively blocking immigration officers from doing their jobs. Attorney General Pam Bondi didn't hold back. She told Fox News sanctuary policies were the driving cause of violence, chaos, and attacks on law enforcement that Americans recently witnessed in Los Angeles. Then she took it a step further. Jurisdictions like Los Angeles that flout federal law by prioritizing illegal aliens over American citizens are undermining law enforcement at every level. It ends under President Trump. That was not a warning. That's a direct message. The White House is declaring war on LA's policies. According to the lawsuit, the city is treating federal immigration officers, especially ICE, differently than other forms of law enforcement. DOJ says that's discrimination, and they're pointing to the U.S. Constitution, specifically the Supremacy Clause, saying LA has no legal ground to block or interfere with federal agents. That's why they're asking the court to shut down these policies immediately. The lawsuit spells it out clearly. Sanctuary city laws and policies are designed to deliberately impede federal immigration officers' ability to carry out their responsibilities in those jurisdictions. Federal prosecutors are accusing LA's leaders of creating a dangerous environment by doing everything they can to cut off their coordination with U.S. federal agencies. DOJ accused LA of blocking access to detention centers. Attorney General Pam Bondi said Los Angeles crossed a constitutional line and created a zone of legal immunity where federal law is being ignored and officers are being obstructed. And it goes even deeper. It says LA's new ordinance, along with other local rules, was written specifically to block ICE by denying access to detainees, restricting property access, stopping contractors from sharing information, and rejecting federal laws the city simply doesn't want to follow. This isn't just a political clash, it's a full-scale legal attack. And now, the courts will decide how far cities like LA can go in resisting federal immigration enforcement. The lawsuit makes it crystal clear. According to the Department of Justice, the Supremacy Clause prohibits the city of Los Angeles and its officials from singling out the federal government for adverse treatment, as the challenged law and policies do, thereby discriminating against the federal government. Accordingly, the law and policies challenged here are invalid and should be enjoined. That's a formal accusation, saying LA's policies aren't just controversial, they're unconstitutional. And this comes right after chaos erupted across the city. Earlier this month, LA faced widespread protests and violent riots during a major ICE operation that hit the region hard. The situation escalated so quickly that President Trump ordered the National Guard to LA, a move that sparked even more backlash and legal controversy. Mayor Karen Bass condemned the violence in the streets, but then blamed the White House for pouring fuel on the fire and accused the DOJ of pushing a terrible agenda. She said, "Last Thursday, ICE entered our city and provoked the city by chasing people through Home Depots and car washes and showing up at schools, and today showing up at emergency rooms and homeless shelters." Bass claimed it wasn't just an enforcement mission, it was a provocation. But for the Trump administration, the message is different. They're saying LA broke the law, and now they want a federal judge to shut it all down. And Newsom and California have filed counter-lawsuits accusing Trump of everything from incompetence and illegal surveillance to dictatorship and using his power as a president for bullying its citizens. In addition, Elon Musk agrees with Trump here. As you know, he's been warning about California for a long time, slamming the state's immigration policies nonstop, calling them dangerous, broken, and reckless. According to Musk, California's sanctuary laws aren't helping anyone. They're tearing the entire state apart. He said illegal immigration is now crushing public services across the board. He pointed to hospitals, housing, and emergency response, all falling apart under the pressure, and he didn't hold back. Musk warned that the system isn't just strained, it's collapsing. He described it like dams bursting all over the country, total breakdown happening in real time. For example, recently, Musk criticized California for passing a bill that provides free healthcare to illegal immigrants. He wrote, "This will scale to enormous numbers as California passed a bill providing free healthcare for illegals that just took effect last year. Essentially, anyone on Earth can come to California for free healthcare. Earth has 8 billion people, but California has 40 million people." Musk's message was clear. He believes this policy could trigger a massive influx of people into California, putting overwhelming strain on the state's resources. He posted this in response to a report stating that California is spending $2.6 billion per year on health care for illegal immigrants, framing it as a reckless move with global consequences. But this is not the whole story. The Trump administration is now also going after California for another reason, accusing it of creating unconstitutional laws that help drive egg prices through the roof. According to the lawsuit, California's so-called animal welfare rules are doing far more than protecting chickens. They're wrecking supply chains and hitting consumers where it hurts. But the groups behind the law are pushing back hard, saying the real problem's bird flu, not the regulations. The lawsuit was filed in federal court this week and takes aim at two voter-backed initiatives. One passed in 2008 and the other in 2018. Both laws require that every egg sold in California must come from cage-free hens. But the Trump administration says this isn't just about California. They're arguing that the state's rules are creating massive regulatory burdens across the entire country and making it harder for egg producers everywhere to operate. Because California isn't just any state, it plays a massive role in the nation's economy. But what it does impacts farms and grocery stores far beyond its borders. And now it's up to the courts to decide whether California's animal laws go too far, or whether they represent the future of food regulation in America. And that's it for today.